Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the anxious, preoccupied attachment style individual is thinking when they are activating. So I really want to break down for the individual who may be AP watching this, and also for somebody who's on like the relationship end of somebody with an AP and cares about their partner and wants to understand a little bit more about like what they're feeling when they are when they are activating, and some of the fears and thoughts and patterns that are running through the mind of their anxious, preoccupied loved one, just for some deeper insight and deeper understanding into everything. So with that being said, one of the first major patterns of thought, I'm going to go through 7 different ones, is the first belief like this person will not stick around, they're about to abandon me. And when the AP is activating, they really tend to think that this is truly going to take place. Like it tends to be this thing where it's like immediate impending doom sort of thing. Like it's around the corner, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And this can be, funnily enough, over small things, which can make it really difficult and uncomfortable. So it can be over, not necessarily these great big things that are taking place, but these tiny things that may otherwise be like somebody just pulling away, somebody not calling back, somebody not texting often enough. These things can create those like big traumatic thoughts about being abandoned. And remember, this is because it's not the objective thing that creates the trauma response. It's our internal subjective personal relationship to the objective thing, right? So if somebody pulling away in childhood felt like a survival threat to you, and that was repeated, there was a lot of inconsistency, parents being available, not available, or a real abandonment that took place, or somebody physically left the home and didn't come back. Like these types of dynamics create that like survival fear that gets imprinted on the subconscious mind, and it's just being waited to be activated later on in life unless we reprogram these things and can actually get rid of them once and for all. So that's number 1. They won't stick around. They will abandon. Number 2, this belief that I am going to be alone. The AP tends to think like I'm just going to be alone forever. Nobody's going to want me. That's going to be it for me. And again, these are usually much more related to stored emotion from painful past experiences that didn't get an opportunity to be resolved, more than they are about the objective experience that's happening in this moment. Don't get me wrong, the objective experience is definitely the catalyst and definitely has an impact, but the vast majority of the time, it's the flood of emotion that comes forth is about a lot of subconsciously stored and unresolved past experiences, because our memories are colored with emotion, and that emotion gets stored, it stays at the subconscious level. Pattern number 3, a lot of these things tend to be like, this is my fault. I regret X, Y, Z. I should have done this. I should have done that. I could have done this better. And a lot of the AP, rather than like thinking, hey, there's a change in the pattern, and it could be because somebody's tired, or it could be because somebody's going through a hard time themselves or anything like that, the AP tends to immediately sort of assume like, it's me. The onus of responsibility is just singularly on me. It's just my fault. I regret doing this and this. If only I'd said this thing or done that thing. And they can sometimes get caught in this like loop of rumination where they replay their thoughts, feelings, experiences, and sort of imagine all these different potential outcomes and things to say in scenarios. And it's like the ultimate thought pattern revolving around people pleasing. It's like, if only I could have people pleased differently or people pleased more. And again, there's this like inherent self-abandonment that takes place within that, whether the AP realizes that or not. It's really valuable to realize that, and then to actually make an effort to be like, how can I reprogram these patterns so I don't have to keep playing back these sort of painful thought patterns for myself, creating these emotional responses on autopilot, and actually do some digging into like creating transformation at the subconscious level. And by the way, if you guys didn't already know this, we have courses you can check out for free. They're webinar style with like slides, notes, all this stuff. They're in our webinar library right now. And they're about the anxious, preoccupied with all of the different attachment styles, with a DA partner, with an FA partner, etc. And so you can actually check them out for free for 7 days by clicking the link in the description box below. And it will take you through all the pain points, communication tools, things you need to change if the relationship's on the rocks or you're going through a challenging period, the love languages, the expectations of the attachment style you're with, and also knowing what you need to work on individually if you are the AP, and what will help you heal and feel more secure and confident in the relationship overall. And also feel like you're not going to be abandoned all the time, and know that you have appropriate measures to resolve painful patterns with the person you're in a relationship with currently. So again, you can check that out for free for 7 days. The link is below. Another big pain point that I'll see here, pattern, is this assumption that the person who's pulling away is also feeling the same degree of suffering that you're feeling, if you are the AP, and thinking, I have to go fix it for them. Like, oh, they're sad too. They're really anxious too. They must be feeling awful too. Let me go make it better. And it's sweet because the internal motivation, or like sponsoring intention behind the action, is to just go like connect and fix and solve for the problem. But it can be challenging in a relationship if somebody tends to, in that relationship dynamic with the AP, try to solve the problem by deactivating, by like keeping space and keeping a boundary. And if somebody needs that time and space, and often they feel like their boundary is infringed upon, and then they deactivate further, and then the AP activates further, and it just kind of creates all of this chaos. But there's a lot of this assumption that's like, oh, this person's upset too. And then the AP often turns around and tries to give to that person what they would need. And it often tends to be the thing that actually pushes that person further away. So it's really important to keep that in mind and notice that that's taking place, and to question that, like, hey, that person might be upset too, but they may need different things than you at this time, based on their attachment style, their needs, and their individual programming. Number 5, a lot of APs will get into this dynamic of like, that I don't matter to them, I'm unimportant. Again, they don't care about this relationship, which is also an FA dynamic. But we'll see a lot of the like, I'm small, I'm inconvenient for the person, I'm annoying to the person. Like a lot of these like really painful self-criticisms in the thought patterns and thinking that are hurtful to yourself if you're thinking these things and believing them and investing into them. And I would really encourage an anxious, preoccupied individual to reframe this with like, hey, they have their own way of dealing with things. At worst, we're not compatible. But that doesn't mean that I don't matter. It doesn't mean that I'm not important, that I don't have significance as a human being. You know, that person and who I'm in a relationship with, and their feelings, opinions, needs in a relationship does not define my self-worth. And being able to sort of pull those two things apart is really valuable for an anxious, preoccupied to practice. Number 6, anxious, preoccupied individuals often think I'm not good enough. My partner thinks I'm not good enough. That's why they're pulling away. And this is what's causing me to activate. They think I'm not good enough. And then number 7, which goes hand in hand with this, is they're about to reject me. I'm going to be rejected. And often I'll see anxious, preoccupied start rejecting things about themselves when they go down this thought rabbit hole, finding all the things like where I'm not good enough. It's because I'm not interesting enough. It's because I'm not smart enough. It's because I'm not, and they tell all these stories. And it's like, okay, well, I'm going to be rejected at any moment. And this sort of dynamic can take place, and really like yearning for just like certainty somewhere. Like, are they going to leave or not? I just need to know, like sort of these painful patterns, which again tends to spark that like activating behavior that follows these activating types of patterns of thought first. So that's it for today. If you want to do a deeper dive into those courses, you can check them out for free for 7 days by clicking the link below. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in tomorrow's video.